Good afternoon, this is Jack from theartofchart.net, and this is the intraday video for Friday the 2nd of March. Everyone's got nice plans for the weekend. I'm going to be working, at least half of it, but I'm expecting to go see a movie as well. Our disclaimer, we do this for educational purposes only. We're here to share our technical analysis with you. We hope you can take some of what we're doing and learn from it and transfer it to your own shots. We're not here to issue trading signals. Right, where are we on ES? We're seeing the rally. We have, hang on, someone's got their microphone on. Let's have a quick look. All right, microphones should be off. So let's just check. All right, everyone's got them off now. Okay. At the moment, this is continuing on from the potential double bottom we were looking at this morning. We are now testing resistance on that. This could go up and fail into a retest to the low. If we were to do that, then this would be a JNS flag setup, because this is a double bottom. We're breaking up slightly from it at the moment, and we have a trend line here, which would be the obvious fail area just below the monthly pivot, and I've got that in about the 2690 area. We could fail there. I think it's going to go on. We've got a full 60-minute buy signal fixed here now. This is a secondary weak 60-minute buy signal. All we've got to do is get over this resistance, and that opens up the potential double bottom target, which would be in about its weekly pivot, effectively. I know it won't be the weekly pivot next week, but it's the weekly pivot area. We will see how that goes. Obviously, a 60-minute buy signal is fixed here. I haven't got that marked up, but it has. Right, NQ. NQ, we had another marginal lower low. This is a classic double bottom setup. We are again testing resistance. Declining resistance, not quite as well defined here, really, but I think we're really talking about this trend line here. We haven't quite reached that. We've got that current, well, it's very, very close to where we are here. We could see a potential reversal there into a retest of the low. We haven't got a buy signal on NQ at the moment because the 60-minute buy signal failed and another one didn't set up. We have a nice double bottom setup, and this would take us from this trend line here, if it breaks up, probably to about this trend line here. This could be, very much could be, a potential head and shoulders forming here on NQ. If that was the case, then then really we'd be looking at about this this level here, and that would be a pretty good match with where this double bottom target would be. We could well see that happen. Personally, I'm leaning against seeing a full retest of the high, although that is possible. I'm not sure we've got time or are likely to make it. Now, in terms of the double bottom on TF, again, nice double bottom setup. Again, it's breaking up slightly. We've got a 60-minute buy signal here, and that has made the possible near miss target. If we sustain the break over here, monthly pivot is support here, then there's a pretty good case for heading up to about 1550 area, 1555 maybe. And we'll see. That's a bit above the current weekly pivot, but the current weekly pivot is only the pivot for a few more hours. After that, I'll have new weekly pivots, which I'll probably have mostly posted up tonight. And obviously, those are the ones we're going to be looking at next week. Monthly pivot will be the same. I like the setup here. I like the rally here. We shall see. All right, DX. Now, DX is finally coming into line here. Although the main move hasn't started yet, I don't think. We've got a potential weak 60-minute buy signal brewing, I think, or it might need just a little more down to get there. But what we're doing here is we're testing the main support at the monthly pivot and the weekly pivot. Those need to be broken and converted to open up the retest of this low, and this is very, very important because the correlation, inverse correlation with gold and HG particularly, is very high around here. So how are we going to get down to this level here? Well, the obvious way would be to actually come down here to about the 89.4 area, and then do a right shoulder rally, which would get us back to about 90.2, and then fell. And that may well be the way we do that. If we got a reversal here, then the obvious move would be a retest of this high and then fell. This would make the better reversal pattern because it's nearer to the 50%. Doesn't rule out the other one, but I'm thinking we're probably going to break down below it, and I would note that the weekly pivot is only the weekly pivot for today. Tomorrow we get another one, so we shall see. All right, CL. CL, we've now got a 60-minute buy signal which has fixed. We're on a 60-minute buy signal. We've got a nice double bottom set up here. It hasn't quite reached resistance. Chances are it's going to, and it's going to break up. Stan was looking at a target in the 62 area. That would be the Janus flag. Basically, the pattern breaks up a little and fails target. I'd actually quite like to see it higher. The correlation is very high with indices at the moment, so if we're going to go higher, which I'm expecting us to really on equities, chances are we're going to do that as well. And the ideal target area, I've got a target in about the 62.95 area, which would be the double bottom target, and it might well make that, or we could fail at the current weekly pivot area, which is 62.7, which was a significant area really on the way down. So you can see all the support there, and if we're just back testing broken support, then we may just fail in the 62.50 to 60 area. I'm looking at this very much as an entry to reload on shorts. So we shall see how that goes, but that's proceeding very nicely at the moment. NG, another day lost in space. This could be a bull pennant forming, but I think really it's just, chilling out, passing the time. NG is on holiday in price terms, so it's been drifting up very slightly. The lean is up. We could see a breakup if NG ever gets the energy and gets off the couch. So as it is at the moment, we could get a 60-minute sell signal brewing if we retest this high. But really, we've got a choice to make here, which is that we're either going to break up over this trend line here, or we're going to break below this trend line here. This trend line here takes us to a retest of this low. This trend line here opens up the upside on a breaking conversion. So we're waiting for that. There is no sign of NG making that decision today, and it may well be that it's actually not going to make that decision in the next couple of days either. Right, GC, we are coming up to channel resistance. We've had this move up here. We had the breakdown. We've had we're having the retest here, which will probably get the channel resistance here. We think the chances that it's going to turn down and at least retest the low are pretty good. The 60-minute buy signal has made target. If we make a marginal higher high, that will get a 60-minute sell signal brewing. We like the retest here. Now, could it be that we're forming an IHS here and it's going to break straight up? Yep, it could. But I think the obvious move is retest and then higher. This is an opportunity to reload longs. I exited half my longs here this morning at 13.25, and I'm only half my longs, and the other half is still on. But I'm expecting to see that retest and that reload opportunity there. ZB, unless we see a very clear sign that we are not going to be breaking up, I'm assuming that we're going to be breaking up. So the obvious target is at 146.07. I think we are just retracing here. Could we be forming a head and shoulders to go and retest the low? Yes. And if we go and break this trend line here, which is now in the 142.24 area, then chances are that's exactly what we're going to do. Until that happens, I'm really seeing this as likely to be breaking up. But if it breaks this level here, then yeah, it could be funny, and we may well go and retest below. The 60-minute sell signal has reached the possible near-miss target. I'm thinking we're establishing a support level here, and chances are it's going to head straight up, or come back and retest this and then go up. That's my expectation. May go another way, of course. Now, HG. HG, as I mentioned, very heavily dependent on what happens on DX here, but we've had a nice little IHS form here. It would have been nicer if it had broken up this morning. This hasn't been as strong to the reversal to the upside as GC has been so far. We're still on a 60-minute buy signal that hasn't reached the possible near-miss target. We're waiting for a breakup. That, to a significant degree, obviously depends on what happens on DX. KC. Right, KC, we've got, I've got this support trend line here. I've currently got that in the 121.75 area. That's holding so far. I'm not seeing any particular reason for this to reverse back down at the moment. SB, we've actually got a 60-minute sell signal has fixed, and we've broken this rising support trend line I drew in this morning. How far is this going to get? Well, I think that rather depends on whether it converts the weekly pivot and the monthly pivot to resistance. If it does, then we can go and retest this low. If it doesn't, then this is just a pullback, which is establishing a less steep support trend line. Waiting to see. I think there is definitely a possibility of a lower low on SB, but overall, the long setup for the bigger picture is the best of any of these sub-commodities. CC. CC drifted a little higher again. It's gone through my channel resistance again. There's no sign of it turning imminently. The 60-minute sell signal has fixed. We may, with a retest of this high, we may set another one brewing. I think really we just need to wait to see where this lands, and then see what happens when it pulls back from it. At the moment, it doesn't want to go down. That may continue to be the case. CW. ZW, I think we had a large potential sell signal brewing, and that fixed. We went to the potential support, and that's broken, and that's back testing. That's confirming that trend line in a way which is confirming that we're going to see a bit more downside here. Is there a potential for a big move here? Yes, there is. This could be a head and shoulder forming. We could be forming the right shoulder on it now. On a breaking conversion of 490, that would give us a target approximately in the 460 area. That's quite a long way down from here. I'm slightly skeptical about it getting back below monthly pivot. Obviously, the monthly pivot is a pretty good resistance turn support level. If we did get below it, then 460 would definitely be on the cards. The 60-minute sell signal has reached the possible near miss target now, and it's possible that we're going to move up from here. I think the pattern setup has a lean to at least some more downside. GBP USD. Okay, I'll have a look at GDX and TLT at the end. Right, here we had a channel that's broken up. We're on a 60-minute buy signal. I'm expecting to see at least some more upside. Currently, this is what I would describe as a muted move up. This may just be a bear flag forming for a retest of the low. USD. USD has been breaking up. It's breaking through this declining resistance trend line. The 60-minute buy signal has reached target. I'm not seeing any negative divergence here. There is no sign of this moving, and at the moment it's going through weekly pivot. Weekly pivot's only the weekly pivot for today, but obviously that's just above the monthly pivot. I would like to see these broken and converted to support, and that would encourage me that DX is likely to do the same. So I think this is a Janus flag, and that we are going to go straight back to this high and straight back to the lows on DX. But obviously we need some more. Euro USD needs to convert this level to support to support that argument. USD JPY. USD JPY has retested this low, as I was saying this morning, since when it's barely moved. Then I was saying this may well be the second low of a double bottom. It hasn't really moved since then, so it's difficult to add anything to that. USD CAD. USD CAD has gone a bit higher. We've got a 60-minute sell signal. I was wondering if this was going to be a double top and it was reversed. It hasn't done that yet. I've got a nice looking support trend line here that's been holding pretty well, which I drew in this morning. That's now a bit over 1.286. And I'm wondering whether it can make it to channel resistance, which is in the 1.2975 area. I would note that we are now retesting this high. And that we could find resistance there. I'd like to see it go a bit higher to this trend line here. That would be nice. Whether we'll do it, I don't know. Okay, Australian dollar. Australian dollar, we've got a break up through this trend line here. We're on a 60-minute buy signal. It's not showing much action at the moment, but I think this is a very modest impulse. This is likely a bull flag forming. Looks like it wants to go and do another leg up. It's not going up with any great enthusiasm. There may be another low coming. We shall see. Could this be an overall bear flag forming? Yeah, possibly. We shall see. NZUSD. Right, NZUSD, we've got, I drew in this trend line, which is a 3-touch resistance trend line this morning. Obviously, we touched that, that's held as resistance. I don't really have a strong matching trend line to it at the moment. We're going to go and retest this low. The 60-minute buy signal has reached the possible near miss target. I'm wondering whether this is going to turn out to be double bottom resistance, and we retest this low and go up. This is now a 3-touch resistance trend line. As and when it breaks up, that should be significant, and it hasn't broken up yet. Okay, great. In that case, that's all the standard stuff. I'm going to stop the recording.